I built this AI agent that can read and reply to emails, schedule meetings, and remind me of tasks to complete without knowing how to code. AI agents are taking off right now, and platforms like N8N are making it easier than ever for anyone to build them. But most of us still struggle to take advantage of this exploding trend, even with those so-called no-code or low-code platforms. Even I needed to learn the basics from this YouTube tutorial, but then could use ChatGPT to make my AI agent even more powerful and useful. That's why in this video, I will show you step by step how to build an AI agent. Even if you've never done it, you can get access to the templates and resources to set this AI agent up instantly below in the description of this video. The first thing you need to do is to set up a free account on this automation platform called N8N. So you just click on Get Started for free. You complete the registration process and you can click on Try Free. Now this is how it looks. I already have some workflows, obviously, because I've already built this AI agent systems that we're going to build from scratch. You just click on Create a new workflow. And then we need to add the first step. So the first step in this case is to send our AI agent a message, because it works basically in this user interface, which is just a free Telegram messaging app that lots of people use. It's similar to WhatsApp from the function. Not only it's free to use, so that's the first thing we need. A trigger, basically when we send a message to our AI agent, which will run in this, so we will communicate in this chat. And once you've downloaded it, you click on install, and once you've installed, you need to complete a registration process where you need to basically give it your phone number because it's connected to your phone. And once you've completed the verification process, which only takes 1 or 2 minutes, then you have this open. You can open the Telegram app on your computer and also on your phone, and then we can get started. And the first thing we need is here, it's the access token. Now, how do you get this? Basically, you go here into search, you type in here, bot father, and here this, and then you click on it, and then you click on start, and this is where you manage your account in Telegram, like everything you use to building it. This is what you do, and then you need to click on create a new bot, and then a new bot, and then you need to name the new bot. So I will just call it my first AI agent. And then we need to choose a username, and it needs to be in this format. So I will just call it my first AI agent. So you can have like spaces in between. Okay, so it looks like it didn't work. Must end with bot. Okay, must end with bot. Good. Good. And this, and now I have my API key. Now you don't want to show this to anyone, so I will later basically remove this key and revoke the key. And this, to do this, you just basically type in revoke, and then you can basically deactivate your API key. So I would never show this to anyone. So before I upload the video, I will delete that. But now I have a key I can use for this. And let's click save here. And once this is successful, we have the first part of our AI agent system set up. Before we move forward, we need to test our workflow. So let's click on save, and let's click test the workflow, and then it will basically listen. Now we can click here. Actually, we don't need to search for anything. You click on this, and then you can already start chatting with your AI agent, basically the first part of it. So here, what I need to do, I will just write a text. This is a test message. Okay, the trigger was already received. Okay, we need to change it again. Let's delete it and test again. Delete it, test again. Again, another test message. We need to do this one for our text so that we have some sort of information in there that we can process further in the next step. And we also do the same with voice. So here I say, hello, this is a voice message test. Okay, let's delete it and test it again. I think it should have gotten that. No, this is a voice message. Okay, good. Next, we need what's called a switch. And we need this because we can have like 2 ways to communicate with our AI agent. One you have already seen, which is voice, and another, which is text. So in there, we need string and exists. rename output. This is text. And here in the value, we need to drag in our example message. Okay, now we only have the text. We need to do our test again. But first, we need another routing rule exists. Okay, we can already do this like here. Let's do the voice. So let's do the voice first. And the next one will be the text. So here we just will put in text. We will change this later. But here what I need is the file ID from the voice. So here I need to drag this in here. And here we need to go back, click save, and then we need to test the workflow and send another test message, and just copy that. And now we can go back in there. Now we have the text message too. So here is text, and now we delete this value, and now we put in here the text. And that's all we need. Let's go back to our next step. Let's save it. Now here in the text, we need a edit fields. So we can save the text like as a field or a variable. And here we will put this in here. We here call it just text. That's it. Let's go back. Now here, the next thing we need here is to get the voice file from Telegram. We need a Telegram. It's called get a file. And there we just would need to have some input. So let's go back here, just put in a random value. Let's click save. Let's do the test again with the voice. Hello, this is another test message with my voice. Okay, so let's see. I think at least I have the file ID, so I put the file ID here. Yes, that's okay. That's fine. Save. Next, we need to transcribe the voice message with an OpenAI module. So we go to OpenAI, and we need to go to transcribe a recording. Now the first thing you need to do is to add your OpenAI API key. To get this, you go to platform.openai.com, and there you go to dashboard, API keys, create a new key. Obviously you don't want to share this with anyone, so I will delete the key before I upload the video. Let's go back in here. Let's here go create a new credential, put in the API key, click save. It has worked. Okay, good. And that's it. I don't need to set up anything else. But what I will do now, I will test if this recording process or the transcribing process works. So let's go to test. This is a test to see if you can transcribe my voice message. Now it triggers, it runs, the transcription runs, and let's see what the output is. Yeah, it has transcribed it. It works. Now comes, basically the core and most powerful tool or module we will add here, which is the AI agent module. So this is where we will take it to the next level. We will connect the two inputs here, because basically what we've set up now is just the instruction, like the first instructions that we are going to give our AI agent, and from here on it will perform the tasks for us using tools we will add to it. The first thing we do here, we go in there and we need to use define below, and now here normally comes the text. Basically this is what we add here. This is like the instructions it gets. And now there's also something else we can do, and which is important, which is a system message. And this is where we define, or we need to tell our AI agent what tools it has access to and what functions it can perform with those tools. Now we will add and update the system message as we add more tools. So for now, we leave it as it is. And we will connect these other nodes. So let's save here. And so we need to add a chat model. So a chat model, that's basically, yeah, the AI functionality, the AI that runs all the other tools and processes. You can use any of these AI models. I just pick the first one on the list, which is Claude. Now, if you haven't already connected your Claude account, you click here, you create a new credential. Now the API key, you go to console.anthropic.com, you set up an account. And once you've set up an account, then you may need to add some credits, maybe $5 or something, so you can use it. Then you can go to API keys and create a new key. And then I can create the key, get the key. Obviously, again, I will delete the key before I upload the video because you shouldn't show this to anyone. Then click save. That's all we need to do here. Make sure to select the most recent model, which is actually the first one, this one. That's the most recent model. Okay, go back. So now the only thing left is adding our different tools, which meaning the different functionality like scheduling stuff in my calendar, reading and replying to emails, creating to-do lists, and things like that in a Google spreadsheet. So this is what we're going to add now, one feature after another. And then we also set up a response message. So it will basically give us a response back and tell us, yes, I've completed this task. Yes, I've added this meeting to your calendar and so on. So first, let's set up the first tool. Let's start with the Google Calendar feature. Now, the memory feature, we're not going to need this at the moment. We can upload databases and stuff. I will not cover this in this video. So let's go with the tool. Now here you have all the list of tools you can use. You can already see it's Google Calendar is already here listed. Now here I will just connect with your Google account that I want to use for this. You can use any Google account. You need to select all, click continue. Now once it's connected, it shows that, and that's already it. And there we don't need to use anything here. Event source, corporation, create event, right? Now we pick the calendar, which is this one, the start time, the end time. So what we need to do here is, because here is where our AI model will make this changes. So the AI model will decide, or the AI agent will decide what the start time will be based on what we tell it. So here we paste in something like this, where it says start. You can even see this, like this is the expression basically we used. This is what you need to use, but then we just fill it up, like we just tell it, okay, this is what the field is, like, or right, the functionality of it, and this is what you need to put in there, right? So here it says date and time for when the event should start. So we do the same here. So this is basically the end. This is the date and time for when the event should end. And then we can have an additional field, like let's call it this is the summary. So basically summary, this is the title of the event. This is the title of the event. Let's go back, click save. Now before we can test it, we need to set up our response message. We need to add a Telegram module again called send message. So it needs to send us a message. Where do we have it? Send a text message. And there we need chat ID. And here we need the text. So this is the output of our model. So before we can do this, we need to run it again. So we just put in test and test. And once we have this information populated, we will do that. Okay, so it's already running it, but let's see. Good, that's fine that it didn't have anything. So here we have the output. And what we also need is the chat ID. Okay, so to find the chat ID, I need to switch to the input to actually to switch. And there it says chat ID. So I paste this in here. Now, before we can continue, what we need to do, we need to tell the AI agent also it now has access to our tool. It's your new tool. So I've already have like prepared the entire text for myself. So here you also have access to the calendar tool that allows you to create, delete, read in any events in my calendar. Make sure to set the start and end time accordingly. So I will also quickly add the other things, the other functions, because at the moment it can only create events, it cannot read and delete them. But we wanted to basically manage my calendar in full. You see here, you have access to the calendar tool. You can do this and this and this. I also tell it what the current time is, so it knows to set my meetings properly. And so let's quickly add these other events here, our tools, Google Calendar. Here we want to do read. This is get many. Calendar from the list. Can limit this as your number of results. If you have lots of events, you can limit this so you don't use too much of your tokens. And here again, we need the same. Here we don't need to change anything, so this should already work. So this is get calendar. Let's rename this also. This is like, rename it, create events. This should be read events. And the next one is to delete events. So we go here, we select delete. Now, here again, we need to use this placeholder. I'll just grab it from the other one here. No, I think the other one. This one is what I need, because I need to tell the AI agent how it can find the ID of the event it should delete. So this is basically, let's tell it ID, I tell it the ID for the event to delete. And now we can already perform a test. I can, let's do the voice message. Please set a new event in my calendar about tomorrow, for tomorrow at 3 p.m. to start editing my YouTube video. So now let's see, it's executing it. Now the AI model, like it's then trying to understand what the instruction is and it's trying to use the tool. Okay, so it didn't work. Let's look why it didn't work. Please check your parameters. Okay, maybe I need to change this to title because it needs to say title and title here. Okay. So let's try again. And delete that. Then I would say, it said it created an event, but it doesn't appear in my calendar, so need to try again. Schedule a new event for tomorrow at 3 p.m. for editing my YouTube video. Now let's see what happens. Now it looks like it has worked. And let's check my calendar. Yes, let's see, when did it schedule it? Okay, it has the wrong date, January 19. So January 19. Let's click again. Okay, for some reason it got the wrong date. And when I go in there, I see that it's scheduled the appointment like 1 year into the past. So there's some mistake. Here everything actually looks correct. So let's go back to my AI agent. But here I have specified, right, the time, the current time and date. Make sure to set the start and end time for any event you create accordingly, or I say correctly. Okay, let's try again. Test the workflow. Create a meeting for tomorrow at 2 p.m. having lunch with myself. Let's see what it does now. So it looks like the process works, it's just getting the time wrong. Okay, you see it still gets the time wrong. So it doesn't understand what time is now. I think maybe now I know what the mistake was. I need to set the system message in the AI agent. Like when I go in here, and it needs to be, before it was fixed, and now if I make it to expression, and then even if I open it up, you see here, it knows the current time is correct. So maybe this was the mistake. Let's see. Test it. Set a new event in my calendar for tomorrow to remind me at 5 p.m. to edit my YouTube video. Let's see what it does now. If it gets it wrong now or right now. So tomorrow, let's go to my calendar. Yes, now it has worked. Now we have fixed the issue. Now let's also test if it can like read my calendar and delete it. So first let's ask it what events, okay, I first need to actually click on test workflow. What events do I have planned for tomorrow in my calendar? And then it should access this tool. Yes, it did it. Then it writes me the response and sends it back to me. Tomorrow I have this event. Okay, good. Now I want you to delete the event edit YouTube video from my calendar that is scheduled tomorrow. Okay, I need to try again, execute it again. Let's see if it can also delete my event. First it reads the calendar and then it deletes it, okay. Okay, it didn't work. Maybe I also need to switch this to expression. And then let's run it again. Let's try again. Run it. Delete the event edit YouTube video that I have scheduled for tomorrow from my calendar. Let's see. Now first it will access read events. Okay, now it will access delete event. Yes. And if we go in there, it vanishes. Great. And I also get my confirmations. I don't know if you can see it, but I get it on my phone. So it works in parallel. So I have it open and I get all these messages as well. So I could also basically communicate it from my phone, which makes it even more practical. I don't even need to use my computer to talk to my AI agent and to schedule calendar meetings and reminders and so on. So the first part of this automation now works, or of this AI agent. The next, we will give it another set of tools because I also wanted to manage my emails. So we go to tools and I type in Gmail. Then again, you need to sign up with your Gmail account again that you want to be managed. Click on select this, continue, close, works, good. Now we need, the first thing we want to do is to read the message. This is under this function here, read many. You can also, if you have a lot of messages, you can limit or return. And then we need to add filters. I think it's labels and IDs. We want to have it access to our inbox and unread messages. I think that's all we need. And the next feature we want to give it is to also respond to my emails. So I go to Gmail, operation send, and now comes to subject, email text. So what we have here, basically we need to use this again. So the placeholder, this is how we tell the AI model what it should put in that field. So basically here, this is the to, and this is the email address. of the recipient. Then we have the subject line. This is subject. So this is the subject line of the email. And finally we have message. This is body of the email. The body of the email. Switch that to expressions. And now we need to update the system message of AI agent. I already have prepared this because I need to tell it, you also have access to my Gmail account where you can read unread messages in the inbox, and you can send messages. You have access to the Gmail send tool, which allows you to send emails to anyone. And let's paste this in here. Let's go back, save it. And now let's do a test run. Give me a list of all unread emails in my inbox. Let's see what it does. It tries to understand my instructions. Yes. Tries to get the message, and then it writes my response. Let's see. Well, I have security alert. I have this email and this email. And yes, correct. So let's delete the security alert. The next, let's see if it can also read the email content. So I want to go in here. I will tell it, I will just need to run it again, test workflow. Summarize the content of the newest unread email I have in my inbox. Let's see if it can do that. What does it do here? Well, it gets the email, it writes the response. Let's see if it gets it right. Discussing on this performance. Yes. That's actually good. That's a quick summary of the email, so I don't even need to open it. And now I wanted to respond maybe to this email. Let's see if it can do this for me. It can identify the email with the subject line, I have a problem, and respond to it. Basically, but I would type it perhaps better, because then I need to define the recipient of the email. So I need to say respond to the email with the subject line. What do we have here? I have a problem with the following text. I don't know if we can respond to it. I mean, let's see. We got your, or I think this should be enough, because it should know what to respond because it can read the email. So let's see what it does. Does it write a response? It sends the message, so it sent the message. Let's see what it sent. Okay, so let's go to send. And here you see, it sent the message. Thank you for reaching out about your problem. I'm sorry to hear expense issue with the pizza list. Could you please provide specific details about the problem you're encountering? Once I have more, I will be able to once I have more information, I'll be able to provide you with appropriate guidance and support. So it even thought about what message to respond. So I could have told it even what to say. So it works, right? The AI agent can read and reply to my emails. The final piece of this basic version AI agent system is we want to set up a tool or allow the AI agent to make to-do lists for us. We're gonna manage that with a Google Sheet. I've already prepared a template, and let's click make a copy. This is where it should write my to-do list. So it has the column task name, due date, status, and reminder. Send. And I will go here. I will just the first thing it needs to do, it should be able to read my Google Sheet. So I'll go to Google Sheets tool. And then I need to connect the Google Sheets account. I complete the process. I select my account where I have this Google Sheet. Successful, good. Now we can set up the functions. So we need to, operation is get rows. The list, or the, what's it called? Let's say test, let's call it. Okay, first I need to make copy one here. Let's call it demo. This was not the right place. I want to rename this. Let's go back here. Okay, now it has found it. Now we need to choose the sheet. The sheet is basically just this here, the name. Now here we need to add a filter. Okay, so not a filter, but I need to add options here. The data location on the sheet, it should read only until the first empty row, otherwise I get issues with too many requests. Range definition, detect automatically. Okay, I think that's it. That's all we need. Let's put it over here. Now the next thing we need, yeah, let's first do a little test. So I write in a task name is, this is a test task. And before I do that, actually, I need to again update my AI agent because I added more tools. So actually, let's do it a different way. Let's first add all the Google Sheet functions, and then we can do the test and modify the AI agent instructions. The next tool I need to add is the Google Sheet update row. So make sure to select the correct count. Demo task list, sheet 1. Now the function is actually called create a new row. So this is when we instruct our API call to our AI agent to add task lists. So this is what we have here. And now we need to specify it again to the AI agent what it should write there. So we're gonna here do this. It's like our task name. This is the description of the task. Due date, we can do the same as well. So due date, this is the due date. And here we have basically status. This is the status of the task. Like pending or complete. Now reminder sign, we don't need this at the moment. Let's switch those to expression, 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 expression. This is that. So we have our update, and the other thing we need to do, now this is like add new tasks, and now the next thing is we needed to update our task. So once we've completed the task, it should update that. And we need another Google Sheet tool. Select the right account, and here we need append or update row. We need the same Google Sheet here, sheet. Okay, no, not this one. This. Now here I need to use like the column to match on. So task name, this is basically, I need to enter the same variables here that I have in the append modules. Let's get this, go in here. And this is the task name. This is the due date. This is the status. Okay, let's go back to the proper one. To save ourselves some time, just copy and paste that. Due date comes in here. actually should change this a little bit, make it a little bit clearer. This is the date and time on which the task should be completed. Okay, now I can paste this also in here, due date. Now we have the status. Let's go back, grab the status. So it knows how to change it. And that's all I think we need here. Now let's go back. Let's go to save, and now let's update our AI agent system instructions, because now we've added another tool to this. And so I will tell it, you also have access to the Google Sheet tool that allows you to read, create new rows, update rows of the Google Sheet, always provide the due date of any task. You save in the Google Sheet in the following format. This is important. It always uses the proper time format. I do not use any other format. Okay, that's all I need to put in there. Then I go in here, I just add it at the bottom here. Okay, let's go back and let's click save. And then let's see if it can set a task. So add a to-do list that is due tomorrow at 8 p.m. and the task is called finish editing YouTube video. Let's see if it can do this. Now this should then, yes, it does this. Okay, there was an error, receiving too many requests. Okay, let's remove that. Okay, so there's some small mistake somewhere. Let's see, let's go in here. Maybe let's remove that. Let's check in here. What do we have here? And this looks good. It doesn't need anything. And here we will also remove that. Now let's try again. Test the workflow. Set a new task on my to-do list in my Google Sheet, and it is due at 8 p.m. and the task name is finish editing YouTube video. So let's see. Yes, now it looks good. Yes, you see, the task appears, due date, and the status. So this has worked. And now I can even tell it, for example, I can tell it what tasks are still not completed on my to-do list. So let's test it. And it will now see if it can read my sheet, right? Okay, there was a mistake, receiving too many requests from you. Let's open that. I don't understand why. Because it reads only until the first empty row. So sometimes, I don't know why it doesn't work. Let's see what it responded. Okay, so let's just try again. What tasks are on my to-do list in my Google Sheet? Let's see if it can do that now. Yes, as you see, now it worked. Let's see if it got it correct. Yes, and now the final test is, okay, let's say I have finished a task. I can tell it to mark it as complete. I have finished the task, finish editing YouTube video, so please mark it as complete in my Google Sheet to-do list. Let's test it. Let's see if it can perform this function here, this module, this tool. Yes, looks good. You see, marked as complete. Perfect. And congratulations, you have built your first working AI agent that can manage your to-do list, create a to-do list. It can schedule meetings for you, and it can read and reply to emails. Now I've expanded this AI agent a little bit further. I added another workflow to it so it can perform another feature. So in this case, it's basically a way to remind you of tasks to be completed, so you don't forget to complete tasks. So it sends you a Telegram message like 30 minutes before the task needs to be complete, and based on the due date. And this could also be useful, but it is too much to put in this YouTube video, so I put it also in my online platform where you can access all the resources, also the templates, the resources of this, to set this up quickly or faster, the template of this AI agent workflow, and also including this additional feature here. And you can get access to this by clicking the link below in the description of this video. If you want to see more videos like this on how I build these AI-powered systems without coding skills or technical background, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my new videos.